Hey, it's great to talk to you again. I've actually interviewed you a few times over the years, but always on the phone. So we really haven't had much face to face. Um, but it's a pleasure to talk to you. I grew up in Atlanta, and I remember the old Jubilate. I used to go to those when I was a teenager. So first time I saw BB and CC there, New Year's Eve at your Jubilate, and it was always a great time.
That was fun.
Yeah, even before the homecoming tsunami, those were big events.
Uh-huh.
The best way to ring in New Year's too. It was so fun.
Thanks.
Um, I know we're going to talk about your show on TBN and the things that you're doing there. So can you tell me just a little bit about it? You have so many things going on, and this is something new. So tell me a little bit about how it came to be.
There's nothing like gospel music and Saturday evening on TV, and we are very fortunate. And I told Matthew that when he said he wanted to take over the Saturday night slot at 8 o'clock. I said, "Are you serious?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, let's do it." We've been on there at 6 o'clock for years. Wow, probably 25 years. But the 8 o'clock slot is, I guess, their prime time as far as listeners are concerned. And we are blessed to be able to be there. And I'm not there by myself. If I were, we wouldn't have that big audience. But in fact, I've always kidded my pastor friends who say, "Bill, how can we get you to come to my church?" And I say, "Don't kid me. You don't want me just to come to your church. You want me to come and bring all of these talented people that
Right.
I have around me." And so that's what we do on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. And from what TBN the folks are saying there, it's a well watched program, and that makes me excited. And we enjoy doing it.
Well, that just says something about the power of these songs, right? And so many people are, try to kind of think, well, things have shelf lives or whatever, and there's new stuff coming up, but there's still something special about that type of music that is like heart songs to so many people, right?
Yeah. I have a friend who does contemporary worship at a church, and and there was a new praise and worship song that I had heard, and uh, and he was singing it, and the church just loved it. And so about a year later, I said, "Are you?" And the name of the song was "Good Good Father." And
Right. Yeah.
when I first heard that, I said, "Man, I don't care what label that song has. That's just a good song."
Right.
And so a year later, I said, "Are you still singing Good Good Father?" He said, "No, we haven't sung it for a while." And I said, "Shame on you. Shame on you." Because when you find a good song, and we talk about Fanny Crosby and all the great songs she wrote, we only sing about three or four or five of them. Shame on us, because anybody could write, "This is my story. This is my song. Blessed assurance, all is at rest. I, with my Savior, am happy and blessed." She's got to have some other good ones too somewhere.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so Dwayne, to me, it begins, continues, starts with, and will over the long period always start with a song and a good song. So if you find a good one, hang on to it.
Well, you have contributed so many good songs, and like I said earlier, at Jubilate, I remember at midnight, Tony Melendez coming out and singing "Because He Lives," and that was really really special, And "Because He Lives," is a classic. How actively are you still writing songs, or does the rest of everything kind of keep you too busy?
We don't write as much as we did. In the early days, you write everything you think. And I learned pretty quickly not everything I think is probably going to be that meaningful to other people. And
Right.
maybe you just write the song for yourself. But I think, yeah, we are still writing, Dwayne. And I think the songs we're writing now are just as important. For instance, we just written a new song this past year called There's a Hole in the Heart of This Country. There's a whole lot of empty going on. There's a whole lot of fear, a whole lot of tears. Somewhere along the way, we've lost our song. May we stand on the rock of the ages. May we shine like a city on the hill, because there's a hole in the heart of everyone that only God can fill. Now,
Mhm.
when we get an idea that we think is worth it, we'll write a song about it. But but we don't write as many. But hopefully, the songs we are writing are speaking to people.
How's your travel? I saw you, I think last year or the year before at Lakeland with the vocal band, and seems like you pop up on my news feed all the time that the vocal band or concerts are going on everywhere. Still pretty rigorous.
No, not as much as we were doing maybe 40 years ago. We'll probably do about 45, 50, maybe 55 days this year. We're probably spending more time in the studio doing programs like on TBN for Saturday night. That takes time. It's just like another day out, a day out of the life of the young people that God has put in our lives. And I have to protect their family, you know, how, uh, how much they're away from home and that kind of thing. So we try to stay on top of that, but we're probably as busy as ever just by doing stuff like this morning, an entire morning, talking to people like you that we want to get the message out about the Saturday night 8 o'clock on TBN, and we had to make time to do that.
So the Saturday night on TBN, maybe I misread it. It's a new program, right? It's not a compilation of the homecoming videos.
It's both.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some new stuff that we just taped this year. It's all pre-recorded because if you get 200 artists together, you can't get it all done live.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So it looks live, and most of the people sitting there are alive, are alive,
yeah, yeah.
are alive. So Mark Lowry and I kid about that a lot. Live as opposed to what?
Yeah. Well, that's great. I remember, when I was a kid, my dad had Sunday morning Jubilee going that was my alarm clock forever. The Jubilee. I don't know if it aired everywhere, but it certainly in Atlanta it did. So, to the happy Jubilee, Jubilee. I remember it. Yeah, it was special.
Yeah.
And what you're doing, of course, is special. I think I appreciate the fact that you're able to honor the classics and you still uplift and kind of put the new people out there too. And I think not everybody's able to do that.
Well, good is good. I don't care whether it's new or old or what. Not all the new stuff is great, but back when I was a kid, not all the new stuff was great then.
Right. Yeah.
Only the good stuff remains. People talk about the great old hymns. Well, Fanny Crosby wrote 6,000 hymns. We only sing about four or five of them.
Right. Right.
Shame on us again, you know.
Yeah.
So not everything that is written today is probably going to live, but it never has from the very beginning. So somehow it's got to, and it's not because they weren't good songs. It just wasn't speaking to the next generation.
Yeah. I know you guys did last year, you did a love songs CD or a project, which was something different that I hadn't seen, from the vocal band. Is there anything else like out there lingering? I wonder if that kind of percolated with you for a while. Is there anything else you haven't done that you're like, I might want to try that someday?
Well, I grew up with those songs, those love songs. We called them innocent love songs
Yeah.
for cynical times. And I kid my son and my daughters too. I say, some of these current love songs are a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Right.
I said, what happened? Whatever happened to you're once, twice, three times a lady? We wanted to do that. And somebody said, well, what's the gospel in that? I said, what do you mean? That is pure gospel, to say, whether thou goest, I will go. Whether thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be, your people shall be my people, O Lord, and thy God will be my God. I just believe, and you are so beautiful to me. You are so, what, when I first heard Joe Cocker sing that, you are so beautiful to me. I
Yeah.
told Gloria, that's a gospel song. And beauty means inside and out. I'm proud of that project. And we've had more people say, thank you for giving that to us. Innocent love songs for cynical times. We did that because we wanted to sing those songs for our mates on Valentine's Day. It would do something very, very special.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's not just for Valentine's, it's for anybody who's been married for a while and you want to find a tool. Roses are good, songs are good, candlelight's good, good food is good.
Right.
But any way to say, you are important to me. I love you. And thanks for giving your life for me and for our kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a wonderful project. And nightly we still sing a song or two or three out of that whole project.
Oh, good. Good. Well, I want to be respectful of your time, and you probably have a full morning. So I could talk to you all day because you're a legend and an icon, and appreciate all you did, have done, and contributed, and still doing it.
Dwayne, it's a joy to talk to you. You have a good day.
You too.